for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. I hope you're having a great day. Stay positive, stay focused. Let's get to it. What is the hot topic that's going on YouTube or Instagram? Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Don't forget, the Cash App is Let's Talk About It Media. Thank you for all your love and support.
So don't forget to like, to comment, but be kind, and also turn on the notification bell. If you don't want to leave a comment, that's fine. You can always leave a thumbs up, a heart, any and everything helps with the algorithm. So let's get to it. Let's talk Love is Blind Part 2. Okay, so we have Izzy, we have Stacy, we have Johnny, and we have Chris. When Izzy first got to the pods, he was really interested in Johnny. Johnny then talked about her past in regards to being married, her ex passing. Won't go into the details about that. But he seemed like really to be drawn to Johnny. But then as days went on, it became evident that they may not be that good of a match. But they had some things in common in regards to wanting to be loved, feeling accepted in a relationship, different things like that. Johnny did not know that he really liked Stacy. Stacy kind of kept it to herself, kind of kept it close, which I get, because some of the women be like, and then they'll try and throw shade, and they may throw little hints, but I don't think they really can throw hints to the person in the pods, because they could probably get in trouble with producers. They want it to be organic, and they don't want anybody messing up the next person's choices to be with that person. So we have Izzy, Stacy, Johnny. But then you also have Chris that was also interested in Johnny. So it seems as if you would thought that Chris and Johnny would end up together. And then one day she just said, you know what? I think I'm going to just go with my heart. I'm going to just go with Izzy. And we're going to try and have a great relationship. So the day she decided to choose Izzy was the day she decided to get really deep about her past relationships, unhealthy parts of relationships, and being in relationships, and how her mom made her feel that she could make good choices about relationships. That was the day she decided to tell Izzy. Izzy did not know how to handle it. It was a little too much for that. So Izzy said, I need a moment. This is too much. I don't know if I could take this. She was like, oh, well, I don't know if you know, I made the decision to choose you, and I was hoping this would be the day that we can conversate about our lives. So he was thinking, I don't know if you should have told me this today. So fast forward, she leaves the pods. Izzy's kind of side-eyeing her. She had broke up with Chris the day before. She's thinking it's going to be fine with Izzy. So Izzy is still liking Stacy, and they're getting along. They're laughing. They're talking business. They're talking ideas. They're talking life. It was lighthearted. So you could definitely see in the pods there's a difference. Love is Blind is a good show, but it's also sad that there was 15 and there was only 3 couples that made it towards the end as far as trying to get engaged. So Izzy doesn't choose Johnny. Johnny then tries to go back to Chris, and Chris is like, no, thank you. You decided to choose him. I think I'm going to go this way. I care about you, but I don't want to be made look like as a fool. So then Chris and Izzy started talking about the different things that she was saying. It's like, well, she said that to me, and she said that to me. So they were going back and forth. So Izzy choose Stacy. Stacy's very rich, well off, has an expectation of men giving gifts. She wants certain weekly gifts. She wants the attention. I don't know if she wants to flaunt the attention that she gets, but it's interesting how some women will be happy and accepting of what's given. So let's go out into where Johnny then leaves, Chris leaves. I guess they meet up later and they decide to be boyfriend, girlfriend. Izzy and Stacy decides to get engaged. They go on the trips. They seem to be getting along, but it often seems that they're having issues. Izzy still has items from ex-girlfriends. It's in a drawer. Stacy has a problem about that. Why didn't you throw it away? You knew I was coming over. It always seems like every episode she's fussing and complaining about something. It seems like that. Um, they seem to be having a good time, but then there's always that 5 minutes, 10 minutes that just ruins their moment every time. And it's like you get so hopeful. Oh, they're having Izzy and Stacy's having a great time, and then all of a sudden the rug gets pulled from under you. So Izzy's sitting down with Stacy's dad, saying she likes trips, she likes to, you know, she likes men to pay for meals. Stacy tells Izzy, "I have this house." They look at the house. They go through the house, and she's like, "I need a man that can help me if something breaks. If my furnaces go out or my air conditioning, whatever, the systems go out, can you fork over 5,000, 10,000 to help me with that? I shouldn't have to look to my dad. My dad can do it, but I need my man to help me if they're living here with me." So he was like, "Yeah, I got it, no big deal. We're living together. I should help out with stuff." And they're talking about the house and the rooms and what should go in the rooms, and they're just general. And she's like, "How much space do you need?" He's like, "Oh, just this corner." "Oh, that's not bad." So fast forward, like I said, Izzy sits down talking with her dad like 2, 3 days after they're on their honeymoon, whatever. So they continue to have issues about stuff. Like I told you, he had stuff in the drawers. Met with the dad, and then I'm kind of skipping around. They then have a day where he buys her a flower, pretty flower. It's like the orchids or whatever. But then she gets mad at Izzy for not cooking her dinner yet. And he was like, "Well, babe, I got you the flower. You just said you wanted flowers every Tuesday. And I'm thinking I'll do flowers every Monday." And he was like, "You know what, Stacy? I feel like everything I do, you don't appreciate the small things I do. If I haven't cooked yet, I'll get to it. But I am putting in the request and I am giving you flowers. That you did ask for that." She loves talking about his package too. They were joking about that a lot. She seemed really happy about his package. But here nor there. That's Izzy, that's Stacy. Johnny and Chris are together. Everybody meet each other. He finally meets Johnny. He talks to her about her attitude, the things that's going on. And Izzy and Johnny are going back and forth. Chris gives comfort to Johnny after her and Izzy are done talking. Izzy and Stacy is talking, and she's like, "Look, don't be trying to compare me to other women. I'm not her. I'm not her. Don't compare me to her. We're not in the same bracket, mindset, nothing." So Stacy's something else. So that's that. Now I will say this. Allegedly, there was a video in regards to Izzy being caught with someone, and I don't think it was Stacy. So there's that. Love is blind. That's interesting. So we have, like I said, Izzy, Stacy, Chris, Johnny. We'll see what happens if any of them make it after this part. So then we have Milton, Lydia. This is a video I did earlier. We have O'Shea and Aaliyah. So Milton and Lydia are having concerns with their ages. And then on one of the shows, she talked about his nose. She talked about his mouth. She talked about how small his head was. Now, mind you, let's speed you up. Lydia and O'Shea dated before they got on the show. O'Shea finally told Aaliyah that he was dating Lydia before the show. And she was like, "Why didn't you tell me in the beginning? Why didn't she tell me in the beginning?" And then they finally talked. So you got Milton, Lydia together. You had O'Shea and Aaliyah that was trying to be together, but she decided to leave because she found out that O'Shea and Lydia just slept together 3 months prior to. She didn't want to deal with that. So she left the show. They weren't engaged. I guess they were still talking. O'Shea and Aaliyah were still talking. But then he decided, "Oh no, this isn't what I want." And then Aaliyah was like, "What? Why are we doing this? This is what you want." Women, be careful. So then Milton and Lydia, Milton believe it or not, he forgave Lydia for all the comments O'Shea made about Lydia and how Lydia's been acting. Then they had a dinner. So they kind of go back and forth in regards to his age, how he is, how he's mature. He's very bright and very intelligent, though. Milton family goes in, they meet her, and they're like, "What makes you want a 25-year-old?" So he's bright, he's intelligent, da 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 da. So I don't know if Lydia just wanted to get on the show, be famous. I don't know. But there's a lot going on in regards to that show. And there's a lot going on in regards to Lydia. There's a lot. Let's see what happens with Milton. Will he choose Lydia in the end? O'Shea and Aaliyah broke up, and she will find somebody else. So let's get to allegedly. There's so much going on with the show. There's lawsuits. There's people filing complaints, and the show. I'm hoping the show will make it. Now, mind you, last season, many cast members were complaining about how the reunion went and the comments at the reunion. So now, if there's alleged lawsuit about how the castmates have been treated, and there's an alleged lawsuit if someone was unwelcomely touched, there's a lot going on in regards to Love is Blind. I will say, when the woman was reading the law documents, it talked about cast members being able to eat, being able to have their phones or not, being able to leave their rooms or not, being able to be in the pods, come out of the pods, and you go back to your hotel. And there's so many alleged things that's being said. Now, whether that's true or false, there's a class action suit against Love is Blind. That's how deep it is. So not only is there a class action, there's also a complaint about unwanted touching or touches. But yeah, a lot's going on. A lot's going on. So last season, people were trying to get the host canceled and replaced by someone else. That didn't happen. So now this season, there's alleged lawsuits and there's alleged class action lawsuit. So well wishes. A lot going on the show. We'll see what happened. Who walks down the aisle, if any of them, because the only two couples that's left is let's see. The last two couples left is Lydia and Milton, and you have Izzy and Stacy. But we're also seeing concerns. The other thing is Izzy and Stacy, they talk about if he has good credit, bad credit. And why don't you tell me? So we'll find out more about that too. And was he really out to dinner with somebody else? Well wishes. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. This is Love is Blind Part 2.